Hello and welcome. So in this video, I'm going to do kind of like a week ahead reading, but specifically what I want to talk mostly about is the fact that Mercury is going retrograde today. So that's Monday, the 25th of November. And I want to talk about this because I think since astrology has become more kind of popularized and more people are interested in it, the one thing that everyone knows is either their sun sign, which is, what we're born, like when the sun, you know what I'm trying to say, when the sun, where the sun was where we were born, our star sign, sun sign, and now Mercury retrograde. So when things become mainstream, by the way, I do apologise if you can hear that rain. I've got a skylight there and it's really loud, but I can't stop it. Okay, so when things become mainstream, I think they get very easily misconstrued, right, in the media, and everyone gets really freaked out about it. And to me, a Mercury retrograde is just not that big a deal, and I want to kind of talk about it. So it happens like 3 or 4 times a year, and it happens for, a few weeks at a time. So they're pretty regular, and we can handle this, right? And it is true that, the way I think about it is that Mercury, the planet, is a very fast-moving planet. As an archetype, he is a very fast-moving guy. He's a god, as I see it. And therefore, when he's in retrograde, which is when he appears to be going backwards, although obviously he isn't actually going backwards, but it appears that way, it's really just an opportunity to slow things down. And I think where things go wrong in Mercury retrograde is when we're trying to go at the regular pace that we have been going, or a fast pace if we've been pushing forward. And Mercury is a trickster. So Mercury goes, no, we're not doing that, right? So it's really just about if we are able to actually tune in to what the energy is asking us to do, which is to double check things, to not skip over things too quickly, to not check, our I's and dot our I's and cross our T's and all that kind of stuff. It's very wants us to just make sure that we're doing things properly rather than rushing and going through too quickly. That's what life wants for us. And I feel like this is especially important to talk about because Mercury is currently in Sagittarius, so we have a Mercury in retrograde in Sagittarius, and we have just entered Sagittarius season. Now, I've wanted to do a video on Sagittarius season itself, but I've been really, really unwell all week. I'm barely even better, to be honest, but I wanted to do this video because it just feels important, and maybe it'll be a little bit shorter than usual. But I'm hoping to be back properly this week anyway, so apologies that you've not seen me as much this week. Anyway, so the reason I wanted to talk about that is because we have the sun in Sagittarius, which is very much kind of like an adventurous time, right? Sagittarius is the philosopher, the adventurer, the one that goes beyond our current limitations. But then with Mercury in retrograde, it's like this kind of, we might feel this sort of push-pull energy of Sagittarius just wants us to go and be free and expansion, right? Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, so I often think of very Jupiterian kind of themes around this time. So around going into more bigger picture territory, right? That's all Sagittarius. Like I say, I'll do a full video at some point, hopefully, on it. Excuse me. Oh gosh. Oh, I hope you're okay. I know it's that time of year when people get stuff. So, and then again, Mercury doesn't do super well in Sagittarius because Mercury is all about the details and being quick, but Sagittarius is kind of bigger picture and not so much focus on the small but focus on the big, so it can be a little bit hazy. So to me it just feels like it's really about, I've been saying for the past few weeks, is that we're now coming into a time where we're slowing down, that nature is slowing down, that we've had snow in the UK. I don't know about the rest of the world, honestly, but here we've had loads of snow, and I always think when it's snow, it's it's a stop, it's a standstill, it's a do not pass go, do not collect £200. Like, it is time to slow down. And we've also got going into a new moon in Sagittarius on Sunday, which I will also do hopefully a video on as well to talk about the energy of that. But that means we're in the sort of like waning phase of the moon cycle, right? So again, it's not so much about doing and being on and pushing forth. It's about things kind of tailing off now, slowing down, going into that new moon, which is like the proverbial winter. Like, new moons are the winter of the cycle, where full moons are kind of like seen as the summer, if you like. So overall, I really am still seeing this theme of like just not being so active, taking your time when doing things, slowing things down. But we might feel a little bit of a tension around it. And again, I think I was saying this last week, it feels like it's similar, because Sagittarius, like season, and the sun, like, is a little bit more kind of wants adventure and to go out and to travel. But then with Mercury retrograde, like, travel can be a little tricky. Again, it doesn't mean you can't travel, but the things that it can disrupt are things like travel, because Mercury rules travel, and communication. So again, it's just like making sure that you don't speak too quickly, making sure that when you send text messages and emails that you've said the right thing and you've not like misconstrued things, or when you're having conversations with people that you're speaking clearly so that there isn't miscommunication there. That's all kinds of things that can happen, because this will be going on until the 15th of December, which actually I think is also the full moon in Gemini. So again, I'll do a reading around that time for the full moon, but yeah, we've got this for the next few weeks for the most part of Sagittarius season. So it's kind of an interesting one, I think. So what I'm going to do now, like I say, I'll do a video on new moon in Sagittarius, hopefully later this week. But I'll look at how we're all doing. Let's see what the collective energies are, how we're all feeling. For those watching, please. Excuse me. Oh my gosh. You know, I'm not really one to get ill, touch wood. But this cold has been so gnarly, I cannot tell you. Okay. Right, we've got one. How are we all feeling? What's the energy, please? Yes. This is interesting. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Ooh, we've got two there. I'm going to take both of those. So, in terms of what we are feeling, first of all, we have 8 of Cups. For some of you, it's like, honestly, when I see them all together, I know you've not seen them all, but I'll just show you the cards first. We've got Death card as well. And then these two that kind of came out. Change, 2 of Discs, and Ace of Cups. I feel a sense of sadness for some of you, actually. Like, there's a need to, like, you've walked away from something and you're still in this really transformational process. That's death, right? Death is very much about transformation, and you're still very in it, and it's left you feeling a little bit like a loose end is what I'm kind of seeing here. And yeah, and like just a sense of a bit of like depletion, but like not necessarily exhaustion either, but just like, yeah, just like if you look at the cups, they're not very full, right? They're kind of a bit like, yeah, depleted. But it feels, yeah, like more like a kind of disillusionment rather than like disappointment or something. And yeah, just a sense of not being very grounded, a little not being able to find your footing. That is very much, I think, the energy, and like there's something about needing to process that really this week. And then yeah, because change, there's a sense that change is coming, but it hasn't quite arrived yet. And with the Ace of Cups here as well, a renewal of some sort, again, like this kind of yeah, it's like you're in this state of change, which is very much what we've had from Scorpio season, but it's like you just haven't quite arrived yet. And that's okay, is what I want to say. Like, don't worry about it. You don't need to rush yourself to it if you're feeling this sort of void type feeling. Because yeah, sometimes when you're in that sort of void of like, I don't know what's coming next, or like I don't know what's happening and everything's been stripped away, this can speak of walking away from things as well, leaving things behind, but like the new hasn't quite come in yet. It's like you need that time to sort of like compost. That's a weird thing to say, but like that's just what came to my head. Like the soil needs time. I'm getting like an image of soil. I don't know, does that resonate? Hopefully it does. Yeah, it's like you might be like, no, I need to go to the next thing, like what's next? And it's like, no, it's okay to be in this liminal space, which again, I think I've been saying this for a little while, but that's because things just don't happen overnight, you know? I think it's important. And again, with the waning moon and Mercury going retrograde today, the energy is just not, there's no ones here, right? Not so far anyway. Okay, so what is the biggest challenge we might face this week? Yeah, it feels like there's lots of uncertainty. And I think it's just about being okay in the uncertainty. Knowing that things are coming. You don't have to be actively doing so much to make that happen. Like there is things happening even if it's not in the material realm yet. What are the biggest challenges we might face this week, please? Yeah, and if you're ill, like, you know, me, it's like a big stop sign, right? Listening to our bodies, yeah. Doesn't look like there's a lot wanting to come out here in terms of challenges. Nothing's jumping out. What challenge might we face this week, please? No, it doesn't feel like the right question somehow. It just doesn't want to come out. Oh, actually, I kind of did see that a second ago. All right, I'll take that. So here we've got 6 of Swords. Yeah, again, this feels like... Because normally, I mean, this is like a positive card, right? Not that I really believe in positive or negative cards. They just are what they are. But with this being in a challenge, it's like not being able to see the journey ahead yet. Because this card often speaks of like going towards something, journeying towards something better, moving beyond the 5 of Swords, which is worry, into, this is an interesting message, into kind of more hope and a clear sense of direction. So again, like it's like things just maybe not feeling clear in terms of the direction that you're going. And that feeling quite challenging, like wanting to know, wanting to have certainty. That really feels like a big theme here. But it is just about being okay in the unknown and taking like baby steps. It's not like going slowly means doing nothing at all, but it's just like not going as full pelt as you were. Excuse me. Okay. Best part of the week, please. But again, that doesn't feel like a massive challenge just because it took a while to come out, you know, and I think you've been in this sort of unknown for a little bit now. You know you can handle it, and that there is just this sense of knowing that things always work out because they always do, you know. Okay. Best part of the week, please. Oh, that's nice. We've got Queen of Cups here. It's going to be, well, Queen of Cups speaks of nourishment to me. And with this being in the best part, it's going to be a very nourishing week. Again, yeah, it really feels like this is the time to like really take care of ourselves, to nourish, to, yeah, I mean, Queen of Cups is all about tending to your emotions. it's just that, again, there's no wands here. Wand speaks of action and fire and doing and moving and all that. And it's like, no, this is like tending to yourself like a sweet baby. And like really taking that very seriously. I think that's really important, actually. Yeah, what other transits do we have this week? I've not actually talked about them all. We've got Venus square Chiron on Thursday. This okay, yeah, that's interesting. I don't know, something made me look at that. Venus square and Chiron is really about looking at like wounds around self-care. Okay, so it's going to be shining a light on like where we don't take care of ourselves, where we struggle to take care of ourselves, where we don't feel worthy enough for just being. So yeah, I really like that this is here in the best part, because it's going to be really shining a light on like where we need to nurture and nourish ourselves, especially with this on Thursday, Venus square Chiron. Chiron is the wounded healer. Venus is really like lots of things, but I think in this context feels kind of like, yeah, like Venus knows how to take care of herself, how to prioritize pleasure, how to prioritize herself, how to get what she needs by just being, right? She's not about all the doing. She's about just like existing in like pleasure and being pleased easily. Okay. What is the guidance for this week ahead, please? Guidance for this week ahead for those watching. Oops, yeah, there it is. Thank you. This is interesting. So here we have the Magus. Now, this card often speaks of like manifestation, right? But this is also Mercury's card, right? If you look at, there it is. The glyph of Mercury is there. Hopefully you can see it. Yeah. To me, with this being guidance, and I strongly associate this card with Mercury, like that is the caduceus of a Mercury symbol on the top of his head there. Anyway, you don't need to get super deep into the symbolism, but I'm obsessed with it. Anyway, I just thought I'd share that. So, and with so much speak about, you know, Mercury going retrograde, that is really what this video is primarily about. It's like, it's taking that seriously, taking Mercury's influence this week very seriously. So taking your time, not rushing things, all of the things I've already talked about, and you'll be okay. Then you don't have to worry. Like, again, Mercury retrograde only goes wrong when we're like trying to like push against what the energy is asking us to do, which is to not rush, to not be so quick all the time, right? So thank you so much for watching. I hope that was helpful. Like I say, I am starting to feel a lot better now. And I'm hoping to do more videos this week, but just bear with me. I'm doing my best. And I'll see you all in the next one. Mwah.